Hey guys, what's up? This is Vice Lord, gonna show you my Chaos Anti-Meta Stun deck. I've been trying to think of a good strategy for this deck for quite some time, and I've played in a lot of tournaments recently. This deck has definitely gotten me top 4, and it's also actually gotten me in the tops at regionals and nationals recently. Top 32 at nationals, top 64, I think, in regionals. I can't remember. Anyway, this is the deck so far. I did some modifications to it, but it's been working just fine. So here's first starting with the monsters. We got 22 monsters, 11 spells, and 7 traps. Alright, here's the first of the monsters. It's got Knight Assailant right there, Starfoil, for when when opponents want to attack. Gonna use the double tour guides right there. So got your double tour guides for it sees summoning automatically. Then we got the 2 summoner monks. This deck runs a lot of level 4s, so easy rank 4 at sea summons, easy summons, and access to all level 4s. We're going to get 2 Mystic Tomatoes into this. They're not as good as most cards, but they're good for when your opponent doesn't have much of a choice but to attack, because sacrifice those 2, get a Summoner Monk, and then with the high spell quantity, use Summoner Monk to summon something for rank 4 it sees. We also have 2 DD Warrior Ladies. I would have sided them, but I figured they'd be good at the moment because I run a spell card that works well with those 2 at current format. Alright. Always in Anti-Meta Chaos, you're going to have 2 Thunder Kings. I would side them, but I have better cards to side deck at the moment. We also have the Dark Knights right here, Doom Calibers. Got 2 Doom Calibers right here for getting monster effects. Like, you want to use Draco Sat, you want to use any of those, good luck. I prefer this monster over Cyber Dragon, and it goes well as Photon Thrasher. Pretty much 2100 attack point, you summon him. Any other level 4 monster in my deck for an instant at seas, or just attack with him. And if I get Summoner Monk, he goes easily for a rank 4, requires 3, like Shockmaster and stuff like that. Cyber Dragon, I run 1 in the main deck. I do side deck it every now and then if I need to. We got Chaos Sorcerer and Caius. Caius, pretty still beast in my opinion, always. And then of course Chaos Sorcerer. No Chaos deck can work without without one of them. This is one of the newer cards added in, Light Pulsar, because I had to take out a second Photon, my 3rd Photon Thrasher, because it was slowing down the deck a little. This one is debatable. I'm going to take it out if I get something better, but it's a 2,500 attack points 6-star monster, so it helps out with HC summons. I have 1 Gorz in here. The Envoy at the beginning. And the last of the monsters, Tragman, Tragodia. No, I would run 2 Trags, but every time I have 2 Trags, they always seem to be at the worst time. So I run 1 Gorz with low traps, and then just have a Trag just in case for Etsy summons and whatever. For the spell cards, I always have these staples: Dark Hole, Heavy Storm. Dark Hole, destroy all monsters. Heavy Storm, goodbye all spells and traps. Staple, Monster Reborn. Pot of Avarice, because there's only 3 cards that really need to be removed half the time. And most of the time, usually my deck doesn't revolve around removing play a lot of my monsters, so Pot of Avarice helps with the draw. 2 Dualities. I'm going to be taking them both out for an Upstart Goblin when I get 2 more. And this is the card why I have DD Warrior Lady and the Thrashers in. It's Rhoda. Instant access to those level 4s and instant ponage. And here's my 1 Upstart Goblin. Again, I'm gonna get 2 more, and then I'm gonna trade out these dualities, so I have 3 Upstarts. Triple draw power, so I only have a 37 card deck here. And since there's not very many trap heavy formats except for Fire Fists, from what I can tell, and possibly Murmels, I usually run 3 MSTs and side deck 1 or 2 of them if it need be. Solemn Judgment, prefer that over Warning, because if I don't have 2,000 points or less, it's like, oh, that's useless. I run 2 Bottomlesses. You summon Draco Sack, goodbye to that. Abyss Seed, all those other cards. Compulses, returning cards to the extra deck, goodbye Ophion, so I can get my higher level monsters out. 2 Torrentials, destroy everything, last case scenario, if I don't have anything, that's worth protecting. Moving on to the side deck, I run 2 Match Cs for Draw Engine. 2 Fossil Dynas, so that way I can stop their special summoning Rampage of Destruction. And then I've got my 2 Tiger King Winehoos. Friend plays a lot of... I find a lot of people play wind-ups around where I live, so that actually helps with the killage of those cards. Malice of Depression. I can definitely take this out, but I'm trying to get 2, so that way if I go up against Fire Fist or those continuous trap cards that bug me, like Skill Drain, Mind Drain, all those other things. Imperial. Now I would run 2 or 3 Macros, but I'd rather run 2 Imperials. That way, this locks down Spellbook of Fate, so it gives me a better chance of destroying them. Skill Drain, just in case. Wind-ups, E-Dragons, Prophecies, and Fire Fist, definitely. Dark Bribe and 7 Tool. Normally I wouldn't have these in my deck, but seeing how I have a shortage of counter traps, I want to try and bring Blackhorn of the Heaven back. But for now, I'm going to have these 2 side deck just in case. This is going to be traded out for Starlight Road when I get it. 7 Tools, you know, I attack. People have trap heavy format decks. That's exactly what that's in there for. Side decking these 2 until I get one more Dimensional Prison. I'm gonna have to side deck it because it's not really useful if I have just 1. Gonna put 2 of these in, 2 or 3 actually. Take out Imperial Iron Wall for the 3rd one if I have to, due to the fact your opponent's gonna have cards the same type. Let's say Fire Fist, E-Dragons, whatever. I'm going to have to get rid of those E-Dragons permanently, so I'm going to take out 2 Fires, so there goes your Blasters. I'm going to take out 2 Waters, there goes most of your Tridents, and pretty much it. From what I can tell, most cards nowadays, because of the heavy spell format, not very many heavy traps. Mirror Force, I have to side deck for the moment, because all monster effects aside, Draco Sack and all those other cards stop from my spells and traps destroying or targeting them. So for my extra deck, here's Chimera Tech, why I have Cyber Dragon. Karakuri decks I've seen played a few times. Zen Mines for, defense with Tour Guide. Lava Air, Sea Dragon for in case I do want to run macro or if something good gets removed. Gator Brilliance for the light and darkness. For light and dark power. I don't really use Acid Golem that often, but when I do, it's usually for like last minute kills. Let's say my opponent has about 4,000 and his top decking cards, and let's say I get Tour Guide on my next turn and I get this guy out. It's pretty much game over if he can't destroy that. I have 1 Maze Stroke. Gonna have a Pappy on there. Gonna set something, I'm gonna flip that and try and destroy it. Knowing my luck, it's a Raikou, like everyone does. One of the 3/4s I run is Shockmaster. You know, you're gonna play against Prophecies, E-Dragons, anything, you're gonna have to use Shockmaster for those heavy monster formats. I run 2 Utopias. I'm definitely going to possibly just take out one of them for something else, possibly a Shark Drake, but I don't know, I like running 2 Utopias for this reason, because, you know, Utopia is the only real good ranked 4 monster half the time. Then I've got my little Chaos Utopia Ray. So, in case my opponent wants to get my life points down to less than 1,000, and hopefully that's game for him. Then I've got this Heraldry Crest. Now, if my opponent's life points are, if my life points are at least below 1,000, I'm going to use this guy and say he has a Utopia. I've done this. Stole Utopia's effect and overlaid for Utopia Victory, used his effect, which pretty much gave him 2,000 attack point bonus, 4,500 for game. Since I do have a lot of level 4s and this doesn't require much, Evil Swarm Ouroboros. It's a Dark Dragon, and pretty much if you don't know its effect is once per turn, I can activate one of each of these effects only once per turn though. So I can't use all 3 of them at once. But one of the cards is returning. Target 1 card your opponent controls, return the target to the hand. So, yeah, there goes Dracosat, there goes Evil Swarm, Ophion, blah, blah, blah. Then there's send 1 card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. And then there's target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard, banish it. So there goes more grave control. Photon Strike Bouncer. Always, because of the range 6s. And this is why I have Stardust Dragon in here, is because I'm waiting to get my Starlight Road from a guy I just traded. I'm supposed to be getting 2 of them, only going to use 1 for this deck, and possibly use the other one for any other deck. I'm possibly thinking of putting in some DD Crows, but yeah, it's pretty much my Chaos Anti-Meta Stun from Regionals. And as you can see my play mat. And the other decks I am currently working on are Photons and my Water deck. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Leave me a comment, share, whatever you want. It's YouTube, man. Peace.